Hello everyone, my name's George and today I would like to talk about hope. But hope specifically in the context of scones or scones, depending on how you pronounce it. If you follow the Oakwood Church Facebook page, you may have already seen from Sunday evening this week that the teenagers of SYNC, that's SYNC, it stands for Sunday Youth Need Christ, had a bake-off session. Over the last few years, the young people of Oakwood Church have enjoyed baking for each other, with a light-hearted competition in the style of Bake Off from the TV. Well, since March, we've been meeting on Zoom every week, and it looks like we may not get back to a physically gathered meeting of the young people for a while yet. The young people themselves are all in different school bubbles across Leeds, so they're wary of mixing as a group. And so we decided that we'd have to get on with this term's Bake Off by video conference. It was a technical challenge, which is unusual for us. For those who are not Bake Off fans, that means that there is one single recipe which everybody has to follow exactly. And then you can see just how skillful each baker's technique is. We all baked scones. Now, in these competitions, I usually produce something fairly inedible. However, if I do say so myself, these weren't too bad. I think that having the rigid and relatively simple recipe to follow helped me, and these turned out all right. Well, what's this got to do with hope? Particularly for an inexperienced occasional baker like myself, that 10 minutes when the scones are in the oven is a very strange time, hoping that they will turn out all right. The judges, oh yes, we do bake off properly at SYNC, that the judges had shared with us that being unable to do a taste test through the video screens, they were looking instead for a uniform shape, particularly across the 6 scones. 3 of mine were pretty good circle shapes all the way up. The other 3 went a bit wild. Well, for that 10 minutes that they were in the oven, I was hoping. What was that hope like? Well, first of all, I was confident that there would be scones. That's the beauty of having a set recipe. If you put the right stuff in the right order, it really can't go too wrong. And believe me, it has gone wrong for me in the past. So this time I wasn't anticipating Christmas cake or blueberry muffins to pop out the oven. I knew it would be scones. It was still mysterious, though, exactly how they would rise and the final shape that they would take. This is similar to the much larger question of Christian hope, how we live our lives filled with hope because of what we have learned about God through Jesus Christ. Christian hope is not a vague desire for something that may or may not come to pass. If you trust in Jesus Christ to be the key that unlocks the way for you to be at one with the God who made you, then you can be sure it will come out like that. You, set right before God, embraced in God's love, risen for eternity. In the meantime, there is some mystery about just when and how this will come to pass in our lives now and beyond. God is gracious and gives us a recipe to help us on the way. I want to end with some wonderful verses from the letter of St. Paul to the Romans, chapter 5, verses 2 to 5. These are Bible verses that I've come back to several times in recent months. And as we go through the winter, living with COVID, I think they won't be far from my thoughts. This is Romans chapter 5. We boast in our hope of sharing the glory of God. And not only that, but we also boast in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And hope does not disappoint us, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit that has been given to us. Thank you for listening. Bye.